It's creepy.
Human nature is fascinating because you never know who you have in front of you.
It's a quiet town. Everyone knows each other. Nothing really goes on. So it was just surprising to hear and kind of scary.
In the recent years, the name Gilgo 4 has sent shivers down the spines of Long Island residents and true crime enthusiasts alike. The Gilgo 4 refers to the 4 unidentified bodies found in the Gilgo Beach area of Long Island, New York. The discovery of these victims has shed light on a disturbing and elusive serial killer who has daunted the region for over a decade. The first body was found in December 2010 when a police officer stumbled upon the remains of Shannon Gilbert, a sex worker who had gone missing in May. The subsequent search for Gilbert led authorities to uncover the bodies of 3 additional victims, later known as the Gilgo 4. These victims were determined to be young women, most of them involved in the sex trade, and their remains were found in burlap sacks, suggesting a methodical killer. Their names were Brainard Barnes, Melissa Bartholomew, Amber Lynn Costello, and Megan Waterman. Over the years, several suspects have been in the murders, including infamous serial killer Joke Rifkin and John Bitroloff, a Long Island carpenter who emerged as a potential suspect in 2017 when he was convicted of murdering 2 sex workers in the early 1990s. Joseph Brewer, an Oak Beach resident, became a person of interest in the Long Island serial killer case after he made the 911 call to report the disappearance of Shannon Gilbert, a sex worker whose remains were eventually discovered in the area. In July 2023, a shocking revelation emerged in the Long Island serial killer case. Rex Heuermann, an architect working in Midtown Manhattan, was arrested as the perpetrator. After an extensive investigation, Rex Heuermann, who ran RH Consultants and Associates, was taken into custody. Following Rex's arrest, everyone who had spoken about him described him as a quiet man with a keen attention to detail.
James Pagano couldn't believe when he heard the name of the suspect because he went to high school with Rex Heuermann.
He was very quiet, dark, kept to himself, and extremely intelligent.
According to a man who interviewed Rex 1 year before his arrest, he was not intimidating but imposing. He was a large person with a powerful handshake, saying it was like shaking marble.
I still remember his handshake when we met. A very strong handshake. It was like you were shaking like a very thick piece of marble.
Now, Rex Heuermann married his first wife in 1990 when he was only 26. Eventually, the couple divorced, and Rex married his current wife. When Newsday tried to speak to Elizabeth after her husband's arrest, she told the media, "Please leave me alone. I won't be saying anything." He has one daughter, 26-year-old Elizabeth, and a special needs stepson. According to the New York Post, Suffolk County detectives spent more than a year reconstructing a case against Rex Heuermann. Following Rex's arrest, court documents were made public revealing that a witness had come forward. This witness reported seeing a first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche parked outside of the home of victim Amber Costello in West Babylon, Long Island, after the first time she was last seen on September 20th, 2010. Interestingly, a pickup truck of the same make and model was discovered at Rex's address. In court documents, witnesses described Amber Costello's killer as an ogre. The individual was described as a large white male in his mid-40s with a height ranging from 6'4" to 6'6", and documents stated that the suspect wore large oval-shaped glasses in the 1970s style and had dark bushy hair. These features matched Rex Heuermann. Further evidence linking to the Gilgo 4 murders had emerged through cell phone records. These records revealed that he used a burner phone to arrange meetings with 3 out of the 4 victims. Additionally, Rex's involvement was further solidified when he was identified in a surveillance video purchasing additional minutes for one of the cell phones at a store in Midtown Manhattan. Rex Heuermann's phone records provided crucial evidence that placed him in the same location at the same time when he allegedly used one of the victims' phones to make a distressing call to her family.
Hey, this is Rex.
He reportedly utilized one of his burner phones to contact that woman's 16-year-old sister, taunting her with the disturbing statement, "Do you know what your sister is doing? She's a Interestingly, one of the burner phones was discovered in Heuermann's person at the time of his arrest. It is alleged that Rex used an email account under the pseudonym Thomas Hawk to search for disturbing topics on Google, including girl begging for rape porn, nude slave girls, and 10-year-old schoolgirl. During March 2022 and June 2023, he conducted more than 200 searches relating to his slayings, including why did law enforcement not trace the calls made by Long Island serial killer, unsolved serial killer cases, inside the Long Island serial killer, and names like Bernard Barnes, Bartholomew, and Waterman. Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello are believed to have been murdered by Rex Heuermann between 2009 and 2010, while Heuermann's wife was traveling to Iceland, Maryland, or New Jersey, according to the New York Post. Moreover, Rex's wife's DNA was believed to be found on 3 of the victims' bodies. The New York Post reported DNA testing on water bottle from outside of Rex Heuermann's home matched a sample of the woman's hair found on tape used to tie up the victims. The investigation into the crimes committed by Rex Heuermann took a significant turn when crucial evidence was discovered. Despite the numerous suspicions surrounding him, the discovery of DNA on a discarded pizza crust proved to be the most incriminating evidence against him. This pivotal breakthrough occurred when investigators stumbled upon a Manhattan trash can in January containing the discarded pizza crust believed to be linked to Rex. Through meticulous analysis, forensic reports were able to extract DNA from the pizza crust. This DNA sample was then compared to various genetic profiles in the database, yielding a match. Astonishingly, the DNA recovered from the pizza crust was identical to a piece of hair recovered from the burlap used to wrap one of the victims' bodies. The case against Rex Heuermann is still unfolding, leaving many questions unanswered. One of the key concerns is whether Heuermann is related to the other murders that have been connected to the Long Island serial killer. 2 depraved lunatics running around Long Island, targeting and murdering sex workers is another chilling possibility. If 2 individuals were involved in these heinous crimes, it raises even more alarm and highlights the urgency for a swift resolution to the case. As law enforcement agencies continue to gather evidence and piece together the puzzle, the community remains on edge.